Yeah, well, actually, that's a very good question. Um, everything else considered, we have seen a particular common factor from 2021 when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was renditioned, a certain pattern in those social media remarks or criticisms that you refer to. They are not remarks or criticisms. They are pure, barefaced, vile blackmail and a tissue of mischief coming from a certain quarter that has been identified and unmasked. That we do not want to call them by their names does not mean we don't know who they are. But I can tell you a few things that can point you to who they are. When Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was renditioned in July 2021, I stepped forward and said he wasn't extradited. That was what everybody was talking about. People had limited understanding of what extraordinary rendition meant. I practiced law in America for several years, and the first extraordinary renditions were being done by U.S. government and Israeli government. And I know it's unconstitutional. I know it creates barrier to prosecutions and trials. I knew these things. I studied it. So when I saw how he was forced into Nigeria, I knew right there that trial or prosecution would turn out to be impossible. And I spoke about it publicly. The same set of people that are still blackmailing me and members of the legal team and members of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's family and people like you, and they also are, blackmailing some of our brothers from Ontario, Canada, who have been very, very vocal, and those in North America. The same set of people publicly took up on me, and some of them were calling me a crazy American lawyer with crazy ideas that wouldn't sell. Some were even saying that my mountain extraordinary rendition is a coded message to God knows who to do Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in. That defense, I was suggesting that line of defense that I knew it was doomed to fail. But lo and behold, that was the argument that won the case at the Court of Appeal. I stand here to tell you proudly that I wrote that part of argument on extraordinary rendition because I had the best understanding of it. The next best person, or the next person that had a good understanding of it, was Mazi Nnamdi Kanu himself, because I took all the materials to him, at the DSA detention facility, and the man is very smart. He's a quick learner. So he read it up and he agreed with me. And in fact, he suggested some lines of argument, which the Court of Appeal adopted. It's not as if I'm taking credit or anything. I'm just giving you a historical background. So the same people that criticized that defense are also the same people that came out and started celebrating the victory based on that defense. That is very duplicitous and very evil. It's the same people that also criticized me or blackmailed me when I went to the High Court of Abia State to seek justice against the federal government and in favor of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu for that Python dance.
Sure.
They were making fun of the trial and giving the defense, the federal government, keys, certain coded keys, and some of them not so coded, on how to defend the lawsuit. They did and they failed. And the victory came. And they kept quiet. Some of them just came out and said, 1 billion only, should have been 100 billion. But they criticized the lawsuit or they blackmailed me. Then the second victory that came from Federal High Court Omahia suffered the same fate with them as well, because all these things are public information. The internet doesn't lie. They go after me when I take these steps. They call me all kinds of names and everything. And then when the case is won, they begin to celebrate. They are double-faced. They celebrate. They use the fruits of these cases to make cases for themselves or overseas, because these cases prove that, members of IPOB in Nigeria are prone to persecution,
Yes.
or that they possess a political opinion which the government of the day in Nigeria, or at least the past government was seeking to suppress by means of punishment of some sort. These victories that I scored underscore that point. And some of these people blackmailing me are using the thing to be prosecuting successful asylum applications around the world. I mean, what greater evil can you see than that? And the same thing goes for the High Court of Enugu State. When I succeeded under very difficult conditions and everything, I have faced a lot of threats to my safety and everything. Handling these cases and still keeping my head on my shoulder, it can only be by the grace of God. I have aged, exponentially since 2021 when I took on these cases. I wasn't looking this elderly. It has taken a toll on me, but I walk happily, stoically, and very proudly. And I am here to win, not to gossip on the internet. So when I filed the Enugu case, seeking to declare that decision, to declare IPOB a terrorist group, they were blackmailing me and say, you're not IPOB lawyer. You're not IPOB lawyer. Come on, man. I mean, how can you quarrel with success? I'm fighting for you and you're telling me I'm not an IPOB lawyer. If I'm a lawyer to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu briefed me, everybody knows that. And then automatically I'm an IPOB lawyer, is the leader of IPOB, and you're saying that he's your leader as well. So why are you crossing that? Sometimes I face challenges in court because the federal government will seize on that and file a motion challenging my rights to file the case. And they'll be filing all this evidence, and I overcome them anyway. But we won the case in Enugu, and the rest is history. And they turned around and latched on the case, and they celebrate the case, but they were against me, issuing all kinds of blackmails and everything. And but the unfortunate thing is that the government that we filed these cases against and other non-state actors aligned with the government, they seize on these blackmails to question some things or to undermine what we are doing, and even try to undermine Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That has happened on many occasions. Everything cannot be in the public, but we have fought a very big battle, not only to confront the legalities of the case and the difficulties inherent in marshalling defenses, but also to combat or diminish the impact of these people that are blackmailing lawyers and blackmailing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu indirectly and undermining his case while using his photograph, his image, as their DP or display picture on their social media accounts. That is the trick they are using. So when you click on it, you see the picture of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and a lot of them, have spam accounts. We did investigations. One of them could have like 50 or 20 or 30 spam accounts with different phone numbers emanating from all kinds of countries. So to trace that they are spam is difficult, but we have traced that. So they can come and on social media and post something and say, Chidi has turned a white man. And then he will use his 10 or 15 other spam accounts to quickly go in there and agree with the falsehood he has just posted. That is the trick they are using. And we found that we have a whole dossier of intels on them. And at the right time, it will be made public. Perhaps as soon as Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is released and is aware of what we are talking about. And some people are saying incommunicado, dungeon, whatever, but we do have access to him. And he does get full briefing from us. He's a man of intelligence and a man of contemplation and tact through very impeccable sources. He knows what is going on. He knows where it's coming from. He knows the purpose, the hidden purpose, even when you're, abusing his image or mounting or touting him as your leader, but you do things that undermine him directly or indirectly. He knows all these things. He's not a foolish man. So what we have now as official policy of the legal team is to ignore. We cannot engage any miscreant there or any non-state actor using Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's picture and masquerading as an ally or as a Biafran, and then using that platform to undermine what we're doing. We figured it out, and they are not going to be engaged, because engaging them is to make them more popular, if not more notorious, and give them more visibility. So we're keeping our eyes on the ball, and we are going to prevail at the end of the day. And our client, the alpha male himself, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, supports this official policy of ignore. Thank you.